I got those for you, Josh, if you want to go full headset. You're welcome to.
Usually I go one-on-one, but that's fine.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
A little lower, please, for you.
Sure.
Try that again.
Let's go down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And Josh?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool.
Sound the right, Roman?
Yeah.
Nice. So you're getting good levels, or you want a bit more sound, you can turn the sound in your ears or down in your ears.
I'm leaving the tire coming to the other two. I'm going to shut it down for you. Is that all right?
Yeah, cool. I can just turn us off there, then I think you don't get any levels. I'll just do a check. 1, 1, 1, 1. You're still getting it. Why does that still come through? It's not picking me up from over there.
Are you able to just put the master all the way down?
Yes, but I find that doesn't stop it either. So you're getting me now? Yeah. All right, I'll put this off.
5, James Pratt. Number 8, Cameron McLean. Number 10, Joe Guest. Number 11, Adam Rivati. Number 14, Sinclair Sinclair. Number 15, Campbell Strong. Number 19, Labib. Number 21, Thomas Manos. Number 22, Josh Vaughan. On the bench we have Zach Boland, number 1. Number 6 we have Matthew Miller. Number 7, Mark Patriotis. Number 12, Ben Smith. Number 13, Brandon Kepetchi. Number 17, James Georgia. That's for basically the Oakleigh lineup. Moving across Senol Albans. Number 1 we have Marco Billick. Number 4, Lachlan Wee.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Hello and welcome. Friday night football in round 16 of the Senol NPL Victoria men's competition. Heidelberg, Oakleigh Cannons meet St Albans for a third time this year. Oakleigh coming out on top by 2 goals at Churchill Reserve in league and cup so far. Dynamo will be keen to get revenge and some valuable points tonight against a side that they did the double over last year. Chris Taylor's league leading Cannons need to be keeping breathing space ahead of the chasing pack. We'll just pause for a moment. Silence here. Impeccably observed moment silence there, and as we were saying, Chris Taylor's league-leading Cannons, they need the win tonight to keep the breathing space ahead of Heidelberg and Hume, who are both in action tonight, sitting just 3 points behind, while Cam Watson's Saints will look to spoil the party. Thanks for your company on the broadcast tonight in this Senol NPL Victoria live-streamed game. I am Steve Curtin, and it's my pleasure tonight to be joined by Josh Byrne, and we'll bring Josh Byrne in just a moment. We'll take a look at those starting lineups here, and first for Chris Taylor, there's a change in midfield with Campbell Strong coming into the 11. There's no Liston Diaz, who misses out through injury with a reported case of osteitis pubis, keeping him out of the side. So they line up with Tom Manos in goal. In defence, it's Joseph Ford, Jacob Tratt, Brody Boyce and Connor Hampson. As we said, Campbell Strong comes in to midfield to sit alongside Cam McGill. Joe Guest, the captain, will play in the number 10 role. The scoring phenomenon of late. Labib will start on the left flank. Kingsley Sinclair moves to the right flank. And Adam Djuranovic continues to deputise in that number 9 role for the injured Alex Salmon, a job that Djuranovic has been doing very well in. And there's 2 changes here for Cam Watson's side as well. Marko Bulic will continue in goal. The back 4, Michael Martinovic at right back. The central defenders, Aaron Anderson and Fletcher McFarlane. Lockie Weir, the left back. Alex Separovsky comes in for a suspended Joseph Colina. He will sit in midfield with Anthony Laban and Atushi Inoue. Nick Cook moves out to the left flank to accommodate Mikael Platt, who comes in as the number 9. Manny Peters continuing out on the right-hand side. And Joey Monek, who played game number 250 for the club last week, drops to the bench. So we're all in readiness here, and we'll bring Josh in as we are about to get underway. St Albans in their all-white kit playing to the north of the venue. It's a good evening for football, isn't it, Josh?
Fabulous evening. Much happier to be up here than running around. As St Albans looking to go deep already. Headers around, Guest takes it down. We're going to play in behind. And the off flag goes up straight away. Dangerous signs already. As the usual Guest passing behind, already looking comfortable and happy on a home deck that they haven't played on in a little while. The usual comments from Oakleigh is the sow the winter grass. It does look absolutely spectacular, I must say.
It looks excellent. It's not like some of that winter grass you see that's the same colour as the line markings on the pitch that you see at some venues. Some of the lower down the leagues, Josh, but no, this venue is looking to picture that new grandstand in the distance over on the far side. Separovsky getting a touch. Martinovic, who looking to make amends for that unfortunate own goal last week that was the difference in the result between them going down 1-0 to Preston at home. But, he created plenty of chances as well in that one as McFarlane, who's wearing the number 17, if you're wondering. Normally wears the number 5 jersey, 17 on his back for the central defender tonight as Bulic is in goal. Oakleigh in their navy blue shirts there attacking the Huntingdale Golf Club end of the venue. The left of your screen, St Albans in their all-white kits. An eye-catching one, isn't it, Josh? They're playing to the right of the screen, and we've got Bailey Panuto is our man in the middle tonight, assisted by Mark Tito, Vince Tocarolo, and Ben Howell is the 4th official. A little bit of nerves here as St Albans continue this trend of trying to play short passes out from the back up towards the target man, Platt. Good to see him back in the starting 11. He's an exciting player when he's on form.
Yeah, certainly. And the juggernaut that is CT, Chris Taylor, with his Oakleigh side, is powering on. As you said before, they'll be looking. He's got balls flung out the far side, all controlled. Looking to put some breathing space in, and as per usual, CT doesn't change too much, but with any change and any outage, they do have some handy players on the bench, and some handy players unfortunately still missing through injury, with the likes of Joey Knowles unknown on how long he'll be out for, which is a big miss for them.
Also Hall and Salmon waiting for those two to come back. Plenty of potent talent in that lineup for Chris Taylor in the pointy end of the season if they can get all of those players back. Not to mention also the signing of A-League's experienced player Matthew Miller, who made his debut for the club off the bench at Paisley Park last week. And the fans here will remember his brother Hamish, who played a lot of good football here at Jack Edwards as well. It's well played by Tratt, who gets it out of play, and then St Albans are pressing high up the park here. This is a good start. Separovsky getting stuck in. He's been a handy player, the youngster Alex Separovsky. Started in that game against Hume where they got a bit of a surprise result, so it's a big loss not having Joey Trolling in there. His leadership and his stability in the centre of the park, but it's a good opportunity for Separovsky to get a start here and make a difference. And the foul in the middle of the park going the way of the Cannons here, Josh.
Just a little clip of the ankles as Dradovic tried to break free. For such a young player, he does throw his body around a little bit, which is good to see. He's a Victory player in the Youth Academy. He's one who's benefited from, as that ball from Manos is looking for him, and doesn't quite find him. He's the one who's benefited the most from the likes of Salmon and Guest being out of the lineup. As Guest gets pulled down, nothing of it. St Albans has clearly been told to press high up the pitch. The first few minutes have already shown that.
Yeah, I like the look of the way they've been sent out by Cam Watson and the coaching staff from Churchill Reserve tonight. They're really not showing too much respect for this Oakleigh side and sitting back and standing by and admiring their qualities. They're getting in their face, and that's what they're going to need to do when they're the side coming here, sitting in 9th place, playing the league leaders. Here's Laban, who's looking like a pit bull now in midfield with that shaved head. Out wide here is Manny Peters. Sinclair applying the pressure. Passing lane was closed down by Campbell Strong, the man who returned to the starting level. That's a good ball in by Martinovic, and it's away by that Cannons defence. Laban getting back. Here's Labib. He's in good scoring form as well. Here's Labib. He plays it centrally. Joe Guest can switch it out to Kingsley Sinclair, who started on the left flank. Overlap from Hampson. What a goal he scored, by the way, last week. It's deflected is the cross, and it's going to bounce on top of Marko Bulic's net, and it's the first corner of the evening. It's going to go the way of the Cannons, so they can take that from the railway end.
I'd say that was a fabulous advantage. Almost turned into a goal. Labib was felled after he passed it, and good officiating.
Oh, hats off there. Mr. Panuto out in the middle. Good start for some of the players. Good start for the referee too. Just looking for the ball here as we've got the assistant referee on the near sides had to play. He's had to virtually become the ball boy here.
Yeah, with most of the crowd hiding in the new stand inside. There's a smattering this side, but most of the far side.
It does happen a bit now since the new grandstand's gone up. Even the commentators have had to play ball boy. So be on your toes tonight, Josh. As Sinclair prepares to deliver the in-swinger here at the near post. Laban got his head on it. Back to the take-up. Time for Strong to supply a good ball to the back post area. Header was by Weir. Zaworowski. Strong wins it back again, so it's a good return to the starting 11 for Campbell Strong, the New Zealander.
Happy to go all the way back to Manos and reset. Aiming for Dradovic. Couldn't get it under control. St Albans can turn and flood forward. Good interplay. Peters looking to beat his man. Can he swing it in? Doesn't beat the first man. And Oakleigh can try and pass their way out. And they get out only as far as a few metres. Put themselves under a little bit of pressure.
Well, the travelling St Albans fans are like what they've seen so far, of which there is a few that have just wandered over from the comforts of the canteen to our right, and some of them coming from the under-23s match as well, just a short time ago. I'm trying to find a scoreline from that one for you, as well as Martinovic possession, and in the armband tonight it is Aaron Anderson in the absence of Joey Cholina. So this time Oakleigh force St Albans go all the way back. Flick on by Peters, or initially it looks good off the initial effort. Platt was making the running, but it was straight to Manos.
Not going to rush to take it. Use all of his allotted time. Looking for that combination again. Gibbs out on that wing as well. With confirmation from the officials. And Oakleigh get the throw.
Yeah, Oakleigh more keen to play more direct football, I think it looks like at the moment, than St Albans, which is maybe not what you'd expect. You look at the league table.
St Albans do play with a very high line, so that's probably a tick there. Swung in and rifled over the bar. It's a sighter. It's early pressure. And that's what Oakleigh can do. turning something into nothing.
Good ball in by Ford. It was Ford who got the assist for Labib last week. Casey won't come charging out of his goal at Paisley Park, and Labib was able to apply the finish from outside the box. Ford made it all happen initially, and he put in a talling cross there too. Kingsley Sinclair just not able to get his foot over the top of that one. Those players waiting in the wings tonight on the bench for Chris Taylor's side, the Cannons. Zach Bowling, the sub-keeper. Matthew Miller, who we mentioned, the star signing, able to be signed outside the window because he was a free agent after playing some football in Iran, previously Tajikistan, since he spelled the Bulls in the A-League. All over the top here, aimed at Juradovic. Back to those other substitutes in just a moment. Sinclair has been busy early. Juradovic getting himself into the game. Strong. Now McGill, the two central midfielders combined. This is good from Hampson, but his passing lane was closed down. We mentioned those other subs for Chris Taylor. Mark Petheriotis, Brandon Giacarini, James Georgiou, and the youngster from the under-23s, Ben Smith, getting his chance. So good to see, if he can get on, that is. Good to see Chris Taylor giving some of these youngsters a chance who've been performing in their under-23 side, who are doing pretty well this season too.
Yeah, the under-23s are sitting on second on the table, only behind Melbourne City. And you've got players performing there with the new rule as well. It's been brought in. It makes it even more prevalent that you need to produce some players.
Looking at those subs for St Albans, Ajak Dayu played here at the Cannons last year and scored 3 goals from central defence. He's biding his time on the bench. So Josh Golevsky, Joey Monek, Jerome Sharan, Christian Rossi, and the youngster Cruz Borg gets a chance. Sinclair, Martinovic giving chase. Sinclair goes to ground. Bailey Panuto is obliging for the home crowd who wanted the free kick.
Probably asking the question of why it's not a yellow. Probably doesn't quite need it just yet. Didn't necessarily have the ball under full control per se. Probably could count himself a little lucky.
Bailey Panuto says, wait for my whistle. Saw the Mexicans against the Socceroos, didn't wait for the whistle the other day.
Guest will be the one to swing it in as per usual. Got the numbers, floating back post. And for Hampson or Sinclair, whips it in, front post, flicked on, and falls not safely in the end. And they're going to get another chance to put the ball into the box. This Guest has to jog all the way over.
St Albans are getting their practice in defending their set pieces early in this one. 12.5 minutes gone, and they've had a corner from either side and a free kick from a wide area too. So Guest will be the one to supply the in-swinger here. And Barn at the front post will be looking to nod this one away. Went all the way through to the back post area. On the turn is McGill, but it's blocked. St Albans can scramble it away perhaps. And they do eventually through Alex Setavorowski, but it's going to be pressure still on this St Albans defence because it's going to be a throw around the final third. Hampson to take.
Smallwood's trying to look for a relieving pass. They've got to get possession. That was just given away by Guest. Of course, depending on which stats website you do use, he is on most of them leading the assists for the season, depending on which one you use.
Are we allowed to, is it product placement if we ask you for your preferred one, Josh? Is it Sofa Score or is
at the moment it is.
A couple of goals going in around the grounds already. Avondale at half-time leading Green Gully by a goal to nil at Keilor Downs. And we have Dandy City leading Heidelberg. So that's a intriguing scoreline there approaching half-time down at Frank Holohan Reserve there. Dandy City, they always match up pretty well against Heidelberg. Did well when they met at Olympic Village earlier in the season.
Puts the pressure on Oakleigh. Or takes the pressure off.
Takes a little bit of pressure off, maybe. Yeah. We've got Hume City in action in the 8:30 kickoff. So Hume will be looking to put pressure on Oakleigh with the win tonight as well. Sitting, as I'm saying, just 3 points behind. Avondale a couple more points behind, so in fourth place. But all the top four in action tonight in NPL Victoria Friday night football. King's birthday long weekend. I hope you're enjoying this wherever you're tuning in. We're settling into a nice 3 days off work, hopefully.
Oakleigh, constant pressure here. Just instrumental again. It's a little dink in behind. Looking to cut it back. Couldn't beat the first man. But again, another set piece, another corner. The story so far.
Anderson solid there again, coming out to close down the angle. Big job for him in the captain's armband tonight. So Sinclair taking yet another corner as St Albans fans alongside us on the outer side here, which is the broadcast side. At Jack Edwards, funnily enough, look on from this side of the venue. It's a decent ball in. Tratt was the target. It might have almost come off his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, hit him in the back. He didn't really know much about it. Ended up ducking under, it looked like. So he looked to go quick and early. Quite pay off.
As soon as we said St Albans are playing short build-up play, they've hit it long. I think the last 3 times they've gone forward. Here's McGilp in front of the players' race. Get some support from Labib, who was coming from a deeper position, the winger. Hampson's got space here. Oh, really well read by Martinovic. Wins the throw as well. The white boots to match the white kit. That's a striking look there for Michael Martinovic as he sends it down the line. Tratt was alert to the danger. Sliding in was Boyce. Play on is the call. Whistle now comes. Panuto perhaps waiting for advantage. Mikael Platt not really happy with the challenge that came from the Cannon Central defender, Brody Boyce, who gets a little talking to from Bailey Panuto. So this game is, I won't say it's reaching a flush point, but tensions are just simmering a little bit out there, Josh.
Yeah, it was a little late. Nothing too much more of a heavy on the screen than anything else. But yeah, it's certainly free kick worthy, and I think he may have got a little blindsided and got a little hand from Mark on the sideline. Yeah, but the right decision in the end. It's a chance for them to get one of their first meaningful attacks into the box. Holding a high line, Oakleigh. Swung in, all the way through. And it's in! It's gone all the way in! Over Manos's head. I'm not sure if he was thinking that was going out or what, but St Albans won't mind too much. That's in the back of the net. That's 1-0.
Well, hats off to Lockie Weir there. Puts it into the back post area, and it was his goal that separated St Albans and Green Gully last time St Albans got the win, so perhaps it's a good omen here. And against the odds that St Albans that take the lead against the league leaders, the team from Melbourne's northwest coming across and causing a bit of a storm here, and it's their left back, Lockie Weir, with a memorable goal, but it's a goal that Tom Manos won't want to see again.
Yeah, certainly he caught everyone by surprise, including us up here in the gantry, that looked like he'd happily, comfortably seen that go straight over his head and out for a goal kick. But no, snuck in. Thank you very much. Game on. And St Albans are the ones desperate for the points to make sure they keep themselves away from that relegation dogfight. It's a vital points if they can get anything. So it's good coming together again. Too much body from Peters.
They certainly enjoy coming out here, as we said. They did the double over Oakleigh last year, which was an unlikely feat for a team sitting in the bottom half of the table, and Oakleigh having so much quality and professionalism. It was their first, I mean, we'll say it was an attempt on goal. It was their first, definitely was their first shot on target, if we can call it that, and it was over the top of Manos. Really good connection on the ball, good pace, good dip, good revolutions from Lockie Weir. Didn't need a touch in the box. It went all the way in for a remarkable goal. So the left back is been on song at times. He gets his second goal in the league this season. Here's Joseph forward. So a little bit of panic perhaps from the home fans in the grandstand over the far side. They did not expect to be watching their side trailing tonight against St Albans. So St Albans side that's without their captain, Joey Cholina. They put their best foot forward here. Tinovic's clearance was blocked. Juradovic, and now chance for McGill. Guest trying to create the overloads in the wide areas, and now drifts inside. Sepi Ferozzi with a strong challenge, and here's Anue. There's plenty of space out in front of him. He can play it out to that far side and look for Platt, who was making the run, but it was well picked off with both forward and track getting back to close down the passing lanes.
They just rushed that final third pass, had the numbers.
Had more time than he might have realised there.
And certainly, Oakleigh can count themselves lucky again there. As the shift of playing higher and wider has been called. Couldn't keep that one in.
There's more drama around the leagues tonight. The NPL Victoria, well and truly the centre of the universe. We've got two of the top three are currently trailing. Oakleigh obviously trailing here to St Albans, and Dandy City, who are in relegation trouble. 2 goals ahead now before half-time. Well, that has just gone half-time against Heidelberg United. So high drama on the King's Birthday long weekend football. Don't go anywhere. This weekend of football promises to be a decisive one for some of these clubs as they battle it out in season 2026. Hope you're enjoying all of the action here in the live stream. Steve Curtin and Josh Byrne with you tonight. Here's McGill. As Oakleigh try and build their way back into this game. They've had plenty of opportunities from set pieces. Juradovic has got the bear hug. Bailey Panuto says, get back up on your feet, son.
A little confusion on whose fault it was, but we get the right decision in the end. Oakleigh trying to rush it. Better when they're calm, cool and collected. Strong gets shoved off that one, and that one certainly should be a free kick.
Perhaps Anue should have the surname Strong.
No intention to play the ball. Play short. Good pressure from St Albans. Away and Platt. Strong. Happy to play around. His usual instructions, if they ever do go behind, is not to panic. They have the ability to create opportunities.
They've had plenty of possession, but haven't really been able to turn it into a threatening shot on Marco Bulic's goal yet. They've had some good deliveries from set pieces from Sinclair and Guest. Perhaps Labib could be the man to unlock this St Albans defence that's growing in confidence tonight. They lead 1-0 through a 15-minute Lockie Weir free kick that went all the way through and over the top of Tom Manos. The appeals from the Oakleigh players and fans, but it looks like it's going to just be a throw-in over on the far side. So Joseph Ford over to take, and he takes it quickly, so a little bit of urgency here creeping in, approaching the 20th minute markers. Oakleigh try and get a goal to get back to square here, but they're forced all the way back by this good, compact St Albans defensive shape. All the way back for Manos to try and pick the pass to play through. That's not going to do the trick.
It looks like St Albans in that defensive block, they shift into a kind of a 4-4-2, 2 lines of 4, and they can sit right back and leave Platt and Anue up forward to put a bit of pressure. Seems to be working so far. He's struggling to break it down. He's knocked forwards. Nobody in particular. Oakleigh have been playing Route 1 football and it hasn't worked for them. Guest is trying to get some link play going forward, and that's a fabulous ball out wide, striding forward. Just a heavy touch, and possession can come straight back at him. All right. Bit of control play. He tries to get it off his toe. Coming together. Well done from both of them to keep their legs down. Guest. One Sinclair. Swings it in. And drops in between the two Oakleigh players. And St Albans can drive out. One forward. Dropped in. And they're going to happily recycle the ball. And start again and try again.
Well, it's a good tempo to this one at the moment, isn't there, Josh? I don't know what it is about this pitch, but every time I'm out here watching a game, it seems like the two teams are just going at each other, hell for leather, and very transitional. So very entertaining for all the fans that are here, getting full value for money on Friday night at the start of the long weekend. It's just 12 degrees, and it feels like it's 11, so it's not warm, but it's good to be under the roof here and sheltered out of the weather. And you can see some fans behind the glass over on the far side enjoying the creature comforts of being indoors while they've got the best seats in the house as well. So there's plenty of good reasons to get out to some of the great local NPL grounds such as this one. And if you can't, the next best place is to be joining us here on the stream. Both myself, Steve Curtin, and Josh Byrne talking you through this one tonight as Oakleigh try and get themselves back into the action. Jaradovic was worried out of it, and Laban, who's been really solid so far at the centre of everything, he's making up for his partner in crime, Joey Cholina, not being out there. So all the way back to Bullich. Can reload again here through Fletcher McFarlane, who's got plenty of space to drive forward from central defence. He's the goal scorer, Lockie Weir. He's just forced all the way back. We have got another goal around the grounds, and it's advantage Hume City. In fact, we've got 2 goals. Hume City have already put 2 past the Bentley Greens in 12 minutes. So Bentley Greens picking up where they left off after that 4-0 defeat at Avondale last week. And Hume, well, they've got a few players with under injury clouds at the moment, but they're obviously not being too phased by that with that 2-goal lead. And an important whistle here as far as St Albans is concerned, as Anue was infringed upon, and if that didn't go, Joe Guest was going to be just about bearing down on goal, Josh.
Yeah, he rightly throws his arms up, question, but just a little nick of the ankles. And that one, in that defensive part of the field, is always going to be a free kick. Happily not rushing to take it.
Captain's armband has fallen off there, perhaps just need a bit of adjustment. I'm not sure if that's in one of the new 10 FIFA rules that's being applied to the World Cup. You must fix any armbands that have fallen off within 20 seconds or something like that. What do you make of some of those changes, Josh?
A lot of them agree with it. It's all about keeping ball in play, speed of the game. You don't want deliberate time wasting, and players are smart enough and coaches are smart enough. They will exploit it, and let's change that. Let's hone that in, which means those will be in play for the NPL next season, not this season.
Interesting. So it's interesting the way that these laws are drip-fed into the competitions. Obviously, it makes sense given that we are already mid-season. It would be strange to bring them in now, as we've got another raid here from St Albans. Manny Peters, big challenge getting back Campbell Strong, or should I say it was Cam McGilp, and he really stopped Manny Peters in his tracks.
They can break quickly, St Albans, and that's proof of it. And Oakleigh do throw their wingers forward, so there's been the space for Peters. Camera side. He almost made the most of it there. Anderson. He's happy to go back to his goalkeeper, who's still keeping Rossi out, who is a very first team 11 capable goalkeeper.
19 starts at Altona Magic last year for Rossi, but he's really getting a look in at the moment here. Two very probably comparable goalkeepers, Bullich and Rossi, fairly similar. A lot of clubs like Oakleigh here, you've got like the likes of a Manos, and you've got a youngster Zach Bowling coming through the ranks and waiting for his chance. But both of those St Albans keepers somewhat similar. Marco Bullich, 24. Rossi a little bit older, 29, I suppose. So Rossi was the more experienced figure. Of course, if players are not happy with their game time, they'll be looking for moves in the transfer window, which will be opening fairly soon. It is a long, long wait into the season before it does open, but we will see plenty of movement in there, and it's which coach can snap up the right players to fill the missing pieces in the puzzle at their squad to try and reach their goals for season 2026, whether it be to be the premiers or the champions, or just make the finals, or just stay alive.
A lot of free agents coming on the market, so we see a fair few movements on the horizon. Oakleigh's already benefited from one of them, sitting on the bench today.
Looking forward to seeing Matthew Miller coming on.
Chance
here. Yeah, good chance here. Manny Peters. Oh, his feet were almost moving too fast for his own good there, but he kept himself upright. The shot was straight into the side netting. No save required out of Tom Manos as he breathes a sigh of relief. But it'd be good to see Manny Peters getting back into form. He's shown a lot of talent. He was really good a little while ago when he was at Port Melbourne, that just suffering one or two injury setbacks and perhaps a resultant loss of confidence, Josh, that he might be on the way to getting that back if he gets more game time, as we're seeing here with becoming a starter in the starting 11 here at St Albans again.
Yeah, he had a stint overseas as well, which from all reports was very productive. Came back and just been hit with a few injuries, which, as you said, is not helpful to Radovic. There's a bit about White. Looking for the overlap. And comes. And poor pass in the end. Easily picked off. And Albans leave some pressure. And a goal kick.
Yeah, well played, Lockie Weir again, who's been on his game tonight. It's his goal that separates the two sides as the St Albans subs are going through some warm-up routines down there on camera to the left of screen. So 26 minutes have elapsed here. And don't adjust your sets. It is St Albans who lead here at Jack Edwards Reserve by a goal to nil. Breaks down there as they try and play out from the back this time. So plenty of goals going in around the grounds as well. Avondale now 2-0 up. Dandy City 2 up against the Burgers, and Hume 2 up against the Green. So we've got the close one here, so don't go anywhere in the Senol NPL Victoria live stream tonight. Here's Sinclair. Everyone getting back behind the ball in the white shirts.
Trap looks for the ball over the top. And couldn't be reined in the end. Hampson made a great forward run. Ball over the top. They have done that quite a lot today. It's old school thinking of a ball over the top. Hasn't necessarily worked for them with creating any opportunities to write home about.
Do you think it's going to be a case of Chris Taylor's side just trying to wear down St Albans? They've probably got more running and more fitness in them, more depth on the bench perhaps. They're so good at scoring goals late in games, especially at home. Juradovic, Labib. Guess is making the running. Anderson giving chase. Labib in support. Back out to the touchline and Guest, and now Campbell Strong. What a build-up here, and it breaks for Labib. Oh, he was closed down well by Fletcher McFarlane. Oh, well played there. He got back and covered his tracks.
Oakleigh were lining up for any ricochet as well. Sinclair was in acres of space on the edge of the box.
It's a good little triangle over that far side to build up the chance for Oakleigh. That'll encourage them as well, you fancy?
Yeah, Guest did a lung-busting run to keep the play alive. It's almost turned into something. Sinclair's looking to be fed in behind. Can he get it across? Got two St Albans to get through. Gets it into the box. Cleared away. And St Albans can run it. He's been told to run it, Platt. He's got the space. He's almost single man. The back post is coming though. Looks to cut it back. And try and get it away. And passing into danger. Finally, Labib gets away with it. As the drive and switch comes. Guest couldn't hold it in. Labib finds Gallup out wide. Manages to keep it in. Need to get it across. He's got the numbers in the box now. Trying to find Guest. Couldn't. It's cleared away. And end to end. It's probably the story of the half is what they want. They're happy to stretch each other.
You can see St Albans, the defending quite narrow with that back four, and Lockie Weir was back inside the width of the 6-yard box to make that previous clearance. Joseph Ford as well, getting forward a lot and trying to overload down that right-hand side, which Labib is also operating down. Labib, we mentioned, he is the scoring threat in form at the moment for the Oakleigh Cannons, having scored in their last 2 league outings and also in their cup exit against Brunswick Juventus. They fielded a full-strength side of all of their fit and available players in that game too, so that was quite a surprise that they did bow out of the cup to the second-tier outfit from CB Smith Reserve, but a side that's been so good in having deep runs into not only the Doherty Cup but the Australia Cup as well. We won't see any more cup football at this venue, so the focus will really turn to trying to get that Premier's plate, and that will qualify them for a spot in the Australian Championship in the postseason in October-November as the champion of the Victorian division here in the centre of the universe, Senol NPL Victoria. Here's Weir. Go all the way back. Forward by Aaron Anderson, and there's a good pocket of space here for Anthony Laban, who can drive forward. He looks to pick out Platt. It's really well read by Boyce, who'd stepped out of that central defensive line, and he's going to launch a counter-attack here. Labib running at Weir, trying to get around the outside. Labib goes to supply the cross. He drills it in, and it must have taken a touch off St Albans' boot, so another opportunity from the corner kick. The corners are mounting here for Oakleigh, but they haven't been able to make them count so far, with just not too long to go in this first half as Guest is over to take.
Guest to swing at him. Does so. Looking back post and track. Can he keep it in? He does. And no officials. Goes to the back post. And it's a rinse and repeat. Now to Guest. Try again. Guest finds the top of the box and diving down. Gallup with a head. Probably a bit too low to get any meaningful contact on it.
Well, that has to be one of the more agricultural phases of play we've seen in NPL Victoria this season. Central defender having to give chase for the ball there. Jacob Tratt running flat out to keep it in play after it fizzed through the box. Then he got his cross in, overhit that. Guess getting back into the box, and McGilt was in a bit of an awkward position to be able to contort his body and direct that ball goal bound. So Marco Bullici still has not had a busy evening tonight, and that will frustrate these Oakleigh players who've been able to find the back of the net when they need to, but they haven't been able to pressure Bullic. That's a great turn by Sepivorovski, but the pass let him down. Couldn't quite combine with Nicholas Cook, who looks like he's temporarily drifted out to the right flank. Hasn't been too busy so far, Nicholas Cook, tonight. Leading goal scorer for St Albans this year with 4 goals, and he scored in their last league meeting back at Churchill Reserve very early into that encounter after only 3 minutes. He'd love another goal tonight. Labib looks to flick it on, but that just came off his back. Severovsky got the touch. Liban first time. Plenty of loft on that one. Ford giving chase. Oh, he does very well there, does Joey Ford, and he can drive up the flank here. He's full of running as he cuts inside. Might have showed too much of it there to Anue. They tangled legs. Oh, and that could have been a really good opportunity for Mikael Platt, but the whistle sounded from Bailey Panuto. Anderson is over to protest the decision as the St Albans acting captain. What's your call, Josh?
Yeah, he made a good indication saying it wasn't necessarily the first one, it was the second one when he tried to play a little tap of the ankle as he tried to get up. And he said not the first one, the second one. So that was correct, it was there.
Good communication. Watching the replay, it was funny. There was a tangle, and then there was a secondary bit of a tangle. It was like there was a bit of Velcro attaching their boots together.
Yeah, and that's what the free kick was called for.
You've watched that replay over and over again. Very amusing. Touch for Cook. Leban. Sinclair picks his pocket. Does he keep it in? He doesn't. Got another situation here. This happened at Green Gully a couple of Friday nights ago as well, Josh. We've got the clock reading about 38 minutes on your broadcast at home, and in the venue we've got the clock on about 42 minutes. So which one of those is right? Take your pick. I'm going to go with the one that's around 37 minutes. Oh, across the face. Chance for Labib. Can he keep it down? He does, and he levels things up. Oh, the man who can't stop scoring at the moment, it's Labib. St Albans want to know what's going on. And Oakleigh have drawn level here. So all their attacking set-piece opportunities. It's a low ball across the box from open play that does the business, and Oakleigh are back to 1-1.
Straight across the face of goal. Not a single St Albans player managed to get a touch on it. And Labib, I wouldn't say necessarily rifles it home, but tucks it home to the back of the net nonetheless. We're all square. It's the marker they were after. Can Oakleigh build on this? A bit of a speculative ball across the face of the goal. That one's hoofed forward. Bit of pressure comes from them. That one's a hefty tackle. He get there eventually. He looked for a advantage. Wasn't quite there. Didn't fall to anybody in an Oakleigh shirt, so they came back for it.
Credit to Connor Hampson, who got forward again. Another lung-busting run from him to support the attack. He drilled it across the face. It looked like Guest maybe tried to flick it on. Maybe he got a touch. Maybe he didn't. Contentious assist, that one. Either way, as Hampson's shot is well off target this time.
I'm sure he'll try and claim it.
Depending on which product you're using to confirm your goals and assists. Goal is Labib's 4th of the season. I think he's been on dribble. You'll find he's been credited with a goal that was scored by Alex Salmon in the match here against Hume. So that one's still to be updated. So I'm not sure if anyone who's maintaining that system can go back and give Salmon his goal retrospectively and update that one for us at some point. Here's Severovsky. He's got Cook to his right. He's got Hampson to beat. Severovsky still there in support. Martinovic now provides extra option out wide. And it's closed down by Hampson, and Sinclair gets it back. Cook wins it back straight away though. Here's Leban. Inside is Cook. Looking for Anue. Cook just tries to take on the shot himself, and it was always fading away at the far post.
Despite it being 1-1, Manos hasn't had much to do today, though. There's been a little bit of one-way traffic. But the score doesn't lie. You only need a shot to do something. And here's one straight over Manos' head. A speculative free kick. That one's knocked on. Sinclair beats him to it. Couldn't get onto the second ball though, and hoofed away. And they breathe a sigh of relief with that one.
Martinovic saves the day, puts that one out onto the rail yards. Another corner for Oakleigh. Dangerous moment there. St Albans getting away with that one. They don't want to go into the halftime break trailing after they led for quite a long period in this match. It's Guess with the in-swinger. Plenty of purchase on it. Hampson is there. Did that cross the line? The assistant referee says no. It come off the inside of the post. Must have been so close. In the end, you have to say the assistant was very well placed there, Josh, to make the call. And as far as he was concerned, it didn't cross the line.
Yeah, had his hand up straight away indicating no. Very well done. Probably going to be the worst position to see, as we've got multi-ball.
Tick that one off your bingo card for tonight's match.
Goes short. Strong looking to switch the play. Does so. Forward. Scoops it out in the bib direction. Gets to him via St Albans. Pressure can maintain. A little dink in behind. Doesn't work. It's hoofed clear. Not on. They're not going to press. The clock may say 45 inside the stadium, but it's not quite just there yet. So the St Albans players asking the question of the official.
It certainly makes it confusing, doesn't it, when you get situations like this?
But I must say, we kicked off 1 minute early. I think it's the first ever NPL game to kick off not only on time but early.
People wanting to get home early and get ready to plan their long weekend adventures, I think, there, Josh. So you do occasionally get this kind of thing. Players get out there early and the referee just gets the ball rolling. You don't get time to get through our intros as commentators. It can be a bit frustrating. Good touch, Juratovic. He hasn't been as busy as he would have liked to have been. Tussle with McFarlane. The midfielder turned central defender. St Albans get their decision. So we'll await confirmation of that added time. It could be more than a minute or so. It's been a pretty rapid first half without too many delays, apart from the 2 goals. Even the goals were restarted pretty quickly afterwards too. Not much carry on after the finish, particularly for Oakleigh, as they were a bit red-faced to be trailing here against the team that sits 9th on the table, but they've given as good as they've got, St Albans. And that will be half-time, in fact. We actually missed the 4th officials board going up, or maybe they just didn't need any added time, Josh. So that's the way the first half wraps up. It was Lockie Weir on 15 minutes. His free kick went all the way through the in-swinger at the top left corner, and Manos was left red-faced, Labib equalising after a cross from Connor Hampson, fizzed across the face, and the man who's in good scoring form for the Cannons levelled things up. So that leaves us at 1-1. Plenty to look forward to in the second half, Josh, for this one.
Yeah, it's evenly poised and plenty to play for, and with other results potentially going Oakleigh's way, they'll want to try and potentially open up a gap and see if they can get something out of it. But we will see you in 15 for the second half.
Hello and welcome back to Jack Edwards Reserve. It is the Senol NPL Victoria, round 16 of the men's competition. We're locked 1-1 at half-time. Thanks for your company on the live stream tonight as we kick off the King's Birthday long weekend. Steve Curtin here with you for this one alongside me. Welcome back to the gantry for the second 45. Josh Byrne.
Thank you. It was a interesting first half. There was lots of huffing and puffing mostly from Oakleigh, and we went into the break all square. Zdravanovic gets us underway. Big sweeping ball out wide. Okay, brings it down, but couldn't get anywhere with it. And I'd hate to say it, but a mistake from Manos gifted the opening goal. I won't want to see that one back anytime soon.
He won't. Full credit to St Albans' left back, Lockie Weir. He drove in the free kick. A lot of pace, a lot of power on it. Hoping to get a touch. He didn't need a touch in the end. Manos just seeing it fly over his head. Oh, Oakleigh could be in here. It's Hampson getting to the byline and cutting it back for Juratovic. He's desperate to get himself into this game, and he feels that they should have got a corner kick there.
That one will go with the referee's decision. I'm definitely not telling or seeing on that one.
And it was Labib who levelled things up just over 5 minutes before half-time. It was getting a little bit tense for the league leaders, who didn't expect to be trailing to the side, sitting 9th on the table here tonight. But St Albans have caused problems, as we've said, prior to their win earlier this season in the league. They had 3 league wins in a row against them. Did St Albans, including doing the double over Oakleigh last year. But Labib's in good scoring form, and he's now got 4 goals in 4 games consecutively in all competitions. So that's some effort, as is that tackle by Alex Sepevorowski, and they can play it forward here through Martinovic as they try and pick out Mikael Platt, threading the needle between the touchline and Jacob Trapp. Wasn't quite something that they could pull off.
It'll be interesting to see the half-time team talks. CT would have been probably the more animated of the 2 coaches, and Watson be happy with the defensive block that his team's put in. That one's looking for a bit. That one's given straight back to him, and poor touch. Albans with Cook can come away with it. And Parkers forces an errant touch. Again, it's that catch-22. They don't necessarily want to rush St Albans, but you can smell a little bit of blood.
I just say St Albans, they need to come out and try and stamp their authority in this second half as well, or otherwise that might risk Oakleigh just walking all over them in this second 45 as the players get more weary, Josh.
Yeah, certainly if you don't close down a Jerry Guest or Strong, they'll start carving you open. We've already seen Labib on the end of one of those. Hampson as well. As Oakleigh probably would have been told to dictate play, but with a bit of purpose. As they certainly did, and possession would have been in their favour in the first half.
I'd love to have possession stats in these games to be able to look up live. That'd be fantastic. I'm pretty sure that Oakleigh had plenty of that ball, a lot more than St Albans did in that first 45, but all that matters is the score at half-time. 1-1. Here's Boyce. Ford, who was very busy in that first half, getting forward and supporting the attacks on the right-hand side. Good little combinations with him and Labib on the right. Trapp's ball forward is a good one for Sinclair, and now McGill. This is better from Oakleigh, and they can play it out in front of Guest. Anderson was onto it, and that is the first time I've seen someone clear the roof of the new grandstand over there, Josh. That's some effort from Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, new balls please there for that one. Good effort. Okay, gets down the wing. Cuts it inside. Looking for the handball. Waved away by the officials. not so clear and cut for some of the supporters, but minimal protests from the players. That often tells a good sign as well.
It was a good run into the box.
Dare to say,
Hampson,
if it did hit his hand, it was probably more natural position than anything else.
I think
The
it was next to the body, exactly as you say there, Josh. And it was also, I thought it's worth, I'm not sure how it comes into the rules these days. It was also pretty much point-blank range as well.
Yeah, it's still a consideration, still taken in. Not a deciding factor, but it's certainly a consideration.
So the intensity is up out there. It's maybe not one for the purists. It's a little scrappy at times in the centre of the park, but both of these sides going at each other in this one. See how important the 3 points are to both of the sides, and for different reasons. Likely trying to keep that breathing space that they've got between them on top of the table and the chasing pack.
St Albans currently before the game, sit 4 points clear of that relegation dogfight, and they'll want to ensure that they don't get dragged into it.
Lots of goals around the grounds. We've still got the close one here, that's for sure. 2 goal margins in all of the other games in favour of Avondale, Dandenong City and Hume. Up to 1-1 here. Mikael Platt trying to help St Albans heads their nose in front for the second time tonight, perhaps. Anderson, Martinovic. It's picked out by Strong. Again, it's very scrappy in the middle, and Platt wins it back. In fact, it's Manny Peters. Martinovic had stayed forward, and Manos is over to claim this one. So again, St Albans favouring that right-hand side that they like to attack down, getting a lot of numbers over there on the grandstand side. Manos is just going to drive this one forward. Bib got the touch, straight to Nicholas Cook. Levan, he's so good at finding space in the centre of the park. Out wide is Peters. The pass was straight to Tratt, and I'm not sure if he mishit that one, but it went conveniently to McGill. You might give him credit for that pass. Hampson. Just trying to find a way forward here, but again, that defensive shape for St Albans, Josh, it's hard to break down.
He's drawing them to that ball over the top. It's worked this time though. Got him behind. Okay, looking to get away. Good tackle, but it's fallen to an Oakleigh player. Has a hit. And scooped straight over the bar. Leant back on that one. And St Albans breathe a sigh of release. That was potentially well built.
It was a good build-up, wasn't it? Connor Hampson, again, like a training ground rehearsed move. We've got an injury concern here for St Albans. So it's going to be a couple of changes. It's going to be a triple change coming up here for St Albans. Either way. Now, is it Martinovic who's hobbling a bit over there?
On nonetheless.
Does look like Michael Martinovic he's got some strapping around the thigh that he's ripping off, so he's definitely one of the players that's going to be substituted here. Oh, he might have been carrying a hamstring or a quad problem, and that's not good news for the right back. So in come the changes here. So Martinovic is coming off, as is
Peters
and Inouye. Joey Monek is on over on the far side. Might be Ajak Dayu was out there as well against his old side, where he was a handy goal scorer. He scored in this fixture last year for Oakleigh, so could he be a goal scorer in this fixture here again now that he's given the chance? Out of play by McFarlane. So Ajak Dayu is out there. He might be lining up at right back, I think. Not good for Martinovic. You can see him making his way around fear he might have done a hammy, Josh.
Yeah, let's hope not. He did stretch for a challenge that ended up in the injury, so hopefully not, as that swung in and cleared away. And again, happy to play the ball on the ground, and they turn and can go. Drive forwards, hooks, and this camera side. Tries to beat forward, couldn't. Well shielded out. They can launch a tackle on themselves now. Oakleigh.
So Josh Golevsky, the other player coming on as well, another player who's banged in a couple of goals this season. So a bit of firepower coming on between Golevsky and Monek. 2 goals for each of them this season, plus 1 extra in the cup for Joey Monek as well. Joey Monek really is Mr. St Albans, bringing up game number 250 last week. But, look, doing the defending here. Here's Sinclair. Can he cut this one across to the face, to the back post? Guess was lurking in the penalty area. Here he is again. Aimed at Juradovic. He gets a good header on it, and Guest is there for the finish. Classic Oakleigh Cannons football, and they lead for the first time tonight. Good ball in, a little knockdown, and Guest does the rest. Good knockdown by Juradovic, and you feel that goal being coming, Josh?
Yeah, certainly, but all credit for that touchdown from Juradovic to keep the play alive, and Guest with the photo-worthy diving head up to put it in past the St Albans goalkeeper, who we mentioned first half didn't have much to do, and again second half hasn't had much to do. Many saves,
not many saves if any that I can remember, but he's had to pick it out of his net twice, unfortunately. And if there's a player that loves getting their body parallel to the ground more in NPL Victoria than Joe Guest, I'd like to know who that is.
And that's not because of his slight stature.
Terrific exponent of the diving header is the Englishman. Well played by Ford. Kept his eye on the ball as Cook tried to make the running in behind. Good support from Strong, and they can play the 1-2 here. Tackle was from Sepivorovski. Unfair one, according to referee Panuto. So you could say expected order is returned to this game. The league leaders lead for the first time tonight. But down at Frank Holohan, it's Dandy City, the relegation threatened side. 4-1, leading 4-1 against Heidelberg United. Fascinating scoreline down there. And we'll stay with play here. Here's McGill. Collided with Monek, who drifted inside from his right flank position that he's working on, and getting on the overlap again was Hampson, but Ajak Dayu, his teammate of last season, was there to close down the passing channel, and it's going to be another corner for Oakleigh.
They would have seen this triangles and passing lanes in training last season. Well defended in the end.
Yeah, he knew where Hampson was going there, didn't he, Ajak Dayu? He had a good run in central defence when they had injuries to Hall and Tratt in the second half of the season. In it comes from Sinclair. It's a dangerous one. It's allowed to bounce in the 6-yard box. Sepivorovski with the clearance. Only as far as Guest. And now Sinclair tries to get it back in. Headed by Golevsky. This is Labib, who's part of the rest defence, can get back and play it back to Manos. A little bit of a worm burner. It's picked off by Liban, but he showed too much of the ball to his opponent, but he gets it back. Lucks the fortune. He's got Cook making the running on the left-hand side. He tries to cut it back. You can see not really his preferred side of the body, and it goes into the side netting.
Hearts in mouths there. Manos left that one, and he did that first half.
Knew where his posts were, I think, just about.
Yes, this time. Must add, we did notice that he came out after half time probably 3 or 4 minutes earlier than the rest of his teammates, getting a few shots pounded at him, and that shows the frustration of the concentration that he wants to get back onto par.
Well, you made a good point, Josh. He's one of those keepers that when he's in the action, he can be on, but when the ball's not coming to him, although I say he hasn't really made the saves tonight, he hasn't had to, but when he needed to be able to find a reverse gear, he was left a bit looking like David Seaman against Ronaldinho in 2002. Maybe not quite as loopy, that free kick by Lockie, where it was driven in, you would say, a little bit more so.
Opening up scars, that one.
Well, it won't be long until we'll be going through all those emotions again when the World Cup kicks off on Friday. Wow, Friday. This time next week we'll have already started. Oakleigh yet to make any changes. Are we about to see one here?
Tratt's down.
Yeah, Tratt sat down, so there's already no Jordan Hall. Looking on the bench, there's not really an obvious central defensive replacement, so if he's forced off, it might be perhaps the likes of Joseph Ford to shift across into central defence next to Brodie Boyce. Keep an eye on that one. We've got a replacement ready to go. So this is bad news for Oakleigh. They're already without Alex Salmon, Joe Knowles, Jordan Hall. Tratt's back up on his feet. He might be okay to continue here. He's not walking too gingerly, I think, Josh.
Yeah, let's hope not, but I think they might not risk it. Yeah, certainly not. We'll have to double check. That went up as 16 coming on.
We might have been duped here. Not the first time lately that we've had a number inconsistency with our figures, so we'll just try and confirm that one with you. The ground announcer has not come to the party either, but Tratt is the man who's been replaced. Either way, he makes his way over to the bench. Keep an eye out if he reaches for the ice pack there. Lockie Weir, the goal scorer for St Albans. He can play this one forward. It's picked up by Platt. He showed too much of it to Hampson. Well, it might be Hampson who slotted into central defence, the left back. Sinclair is there. Oh, and across the face from Monek. It needed a touch. And well played by Tom Manos to tip it around the post. Joey Monek close to scoring after coming off the bench.
It was a very good save in the end. Weir's ready to pop this one into the box. As Manos is crowded by 3. The short options there. Weir turns him away. He says no. Weir now swinger. Doesn't beat the first player. Only as cleared as far as St Albans. They can reset themselves. And given away. And that's a hefty tackle. And we won't pay the advantage. And that one will be the first card of the day. And rightly so. Certainly late. Number 20.
Well, Cam McGilpie seems to, sometimes he has a bit of a target on his back for those sorts of challenges. He's already got so much strapping on that left knee. As he hobbles away.
Boyce to get us restarted. It forward. Dradovic first to it, but gives the ball away. Platt wins his teammate. Turned over. Labib. Everything away from goal. Happy to go back though. Boyce. Moving forward to Dradovic. Nowhere near him in the end. Striding down the wing. Looking across it. Well defended. Getting a second dig at it though. Nice touch. Try to find Labib, couldn't. Platt. Turn and face goal. He's twisting, turning. Held by Labib. Unsided by the official. Given away. It's turnover over turnover here.
It is. So looking out there, so they put up the number 16 to be the player coming on, but it's number 6, so it's Matt Miller, the former MacArthur Bull, former Newcastle Jet, Central Coast Mariner, Melbourne City player at one point in time as well, and familiar with this league as well. Had a good spell at Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne. Former rising talent in the competition. Free kick here to St Albans though. And it's going to be the second yellow card in as many minutes just about.
Almost identical spot too.
Must be that particular blade of grass down there is causing some problems, as Labib, the man who opened the scoring for the Cannons, from their point of view, is now the first Cannons player to go into the book for a misdemeanor. So now Sepevorowski and Labib are both on yellow cards. There's a free kick here and a really handy spot for Sepevorowski to swing in.
Similar distance to what Weir popped it over Manos' head in the first half.
Manos will be hoping for no repeats here. I'm sure Sepevorowski will try and hit this one towards the crowd of players at the back post, but you never know. So Manos is a couple of yards out from his goal line here. The line is on the edge of the 18-yard box for Oakleigh. It's in by Sepevorowski. Good purchase on it. A couple of Oakleigh players throwing themselves at the ball, including Hampson and Miller as well at the back post. Another change coming up, it looks like here, this time for St Albans. Josh, looks like that's the end of the night for Mikael Platt.
Just couldn't get into the game enough for my liking. Was struggled against the strong bodies of Tratt. Yes, Tratt's now off, but that's whipped in early. Beaten away, and that's a up and under ball to no one in particular. It's all onside. Wants to get a head onto it properly. Cross is dealt with the numbers.
It was unselfish there by the substitute. Sharan with his first touch. He's someone who knows where the goals are, but he decided to lay that one off. 3 goals in all competitions this season has Jerome Sharan. So another handy play to be able to bring off the bench. Out there in the number 19 jersey. Looks like he's going to operate perhaps up the left-hand side. So if you're wondering what that reshuffle is for Oakleigh, it's Connor Hampson into central defence alongside Boyce, and then Kingsley Sinclair has moved back to the left back position. So Kingsley Sinclair, we've called him the Swiss Army knife here before. He's quite possibly playing more positions than anyone else in NPL Victoria. He's playing as a central midfielder more often than not. Tonight as a winger, right winger and a left back.
Yeah, only spot I haven't seen him play yet is in goal, but
that's coming up next. Unfortunately, Zach Bowling is on the team sheet tonight if needed, because there's been quite a few games this season where CT's just said, no, don't worry about it, I don't need a goalkeeper on the bench. And I would love to know who is the man who gets the gloves in that situation if Manos was forced off the field. For some reason, I don't think it is. For some reason, I feel like Joe Guest just love to get out there and dive around for the ball. Here's Lockie Weir. Sharan. He's got forward to beat. Can he make use of the fresh legs here? Forward looks like he's still full of running and full of energy. Weir can get the ball in first time. Fizzes it across in the top of the box. Ajak dude didn't really teach that one a lesson. Here's Miller. Looks like he's operating up the left flank tonight. He came on and played a combination of down the right and through the middle of the attack last week. Most known as a right back in his time in the A-League.
He's played overseas and played more of that kind of attacking wing back, and CT's probably brought him on brought him into the team as a bit of a replacement for the significant outs they have.
pretty handy replacement as well. Guess with the delivery. Gets all the way to the back post. Hampson is there. Boyce has got time to turn and try and play it into the box. We're not taking any chances. High five from Marco Bullich, who I thought maybe might have put a name on it, but they're going to concede the corner here. So again, it's another corner kick. They've had plenty of practice at defending these so far tonight. Guest receives the ball from the youngster over the other side of the fence.
Miller's a tall presence as well.
Yeah, he's got a good amount of size and strength.
Guest goes over everybody. It's a rare sight from Guest overhitting one.
Yeah, well, it was Miller. I think he might have just timed his leap a little bit off there, so you can see that he's come off the bench the last 2 weeks. Maybe he's trying to build into a bit of match fitness, which makes sense. You mentioned earlier it's been a few months since he last played any football, where he's been most recently playing in Iran.
In their second division.
I think 12 games and a goal over there for Havadar. Previously at FC Istiklal in Tajikistan. So he's been living an exotic life, West Asia and Central Asia. You haven't made any trips over to Tajikistan yourself, have you, Josh?
No, not so much, but it's he has played in the Asian Champions League second division, Champions League 2, so he went over there for a reason. They did okay.
Yeah, definitely good exposure playing on that stage. A lot of eyeballs on those games in those Asian competitions. Sharan went flying over the top of Strong. Sinclair won the ball and he can play it forward. Strong is down holding his head after that collision. And Bailey Panuto is going to be calling out the trainer straight away for concerns of injury to the head or the neck, and that's certainly the approach that we need to take these days as part of the welfare and as part of the rules as well, Josh.
Yeah, certainly so. And it just looked like it might have been just a caught with the hip of the St Albans player. So let's hope he's okay.
So if you have just joined us, it was Lockie Weir who opened the scoring for St Albans on 18 minutes. A free kick that evaded everyone in the box, including Tom Manos, fizzed into the top corner. And then it was Labib, the goal-scoring form player at the moment for the Cannons on 42 minutes. Joe Guest finishing well, a diving header from an Adam Djuratovic knockdown on 57 minutes. So that is the synopsis of the action here so far. The league leaders just with their nose in front and just confirming around the grounds. Full time at Keilor Downs. Avondale 2, Green Gully 0 at Frank Holohan. A result that will send a few shockwaves around the competition on this King's Birthday weekend. Dandenong City 4, Heidelberg United 1. So that is quite the upset. Meanwhile, it's Hume City leading at Kingston Heath by 3-1. Here comes the ball in from Guest. Oh, it's a decent header as well by Djuratovic, but he just couldn't really direct it down. He needed to maybe leap an inch higher there and get on top of that delivery. But again, Joe Guest is on point, and we're going to have another change here for St Albans, Josh.
Just a quick note on Djuratovic. He has been starved of the ball today, but the small touches he's had, he's done well with them and gets an assist. He's usually on the end of the assists from Guest, but he's given Guest one himself.
Well, he was the super sub so many times. He started off the bench, I think, in the first 7 games of the season, and then since the Salmon injury, he's really turned into a goal machine. Or Bullich is coming out of his goal here, and he gets there in time. Always nervy when you've got the pacey Labib charging at you.
Yeah, tricky to see the edge of the area from this vantage point as well, so
hopefully he can see the edge of the area from where he is. Using all of the paint there.
I did have heart in mouth for a moment, thinking he'd just overrun it a little bit, but nope, we were fine.
It looks like Cruz Borg is out there now for St Albans, so player who scored in the 23s against Preston last week. He has a goal in the Doherty Cup against Melbourne Serbia this year for 4 goals in all competitions, if you count his goals in the 23s. So he's out there in the number 12 jersey. So again, St Albans, a really good development pathway for young players. And Kruzborg getting his chance. He got the touch there to Sharan. So really good seeing Cam Watson and his other coaching staff, Billy Selesky, Ian Burke and co, giving youngsters, trusting them against the league leaders here, away from home nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's what that new rule is exactly for this, giving those younger players an exposure to senior top flight football, turn them into senior players, help their development, and it seems like it's working.
It has been interesting, hasn't it? Minimum of 5 players under 23 on the team sheet. At least 2 of those under 20 years of age or younger. So it is a big change, and it has forced some squads to have a look at their squad composition and have to reshuffle a little bit. Dandenong City is one club that's been maybe a little critical of those rules. Didn't suit their squad composition. Here's Golevsky. Oh, it's straight at Manos. Manos makes the save.
And the other rule change that a lot of people forget about is the no international goalkeepers. Homegrown goalkeepers only now.
That is an interesting one that could, potentially have caught someone off guard. But if you are a foreign goalkeeper, I think that means you have to go and play in one of the lower tiers. Am I right in saying that?
Ford gets his ankles clipped. Finds Labib beautifully down the wing. Cuts it across, whips it in, and falls fortunately into the goalkeeper's hands, who can turn defence into attack straight away.
Yeah, well played, Bullich. He was quick out there. He's very vocal, and he got the ball to Leban, and he said, come on, boys, let's keep going, let's keep pushing. Time is, all of a sudden, time is ticking away here.
Correct on the
We're synced up
on the scoreboard this time.
Oh, the perils of the digital clocks reading different numbers. Here's Lockie Weir. He decides to play inside. Oh, it was a clever idea by Nicholas Cook, who was in heavy traffic, tried to flick it to the youngster Kruzborg. What a time it would be to score his first NPL Victoria goal tonight and level things up here against the league leaders.
Labib goes up for it. Comes away with it. He uses his pace well and gets felled. And that one will be bare minimum free kick and at least a talking to. And somebody's got a card for the reaction. And that might have been
Anderson?
Yeah, the skipper Anderson.
Getting to that point in the season where we have got a few players sitting on 4 yellow cards, and of course there's no Joey Cholina out there tonight, missing through suspension. That 5th yellow card last week against Preston in the match. We were all looking forward to watching that in the live stream last Sunday night, and the weather and other factors had other ideas. Good to see that there was some footage was posted up though to catch that one. Maybe Michael Martinovic was wishing the footage wasn't posted up. The unfortunate score of an own goal from a Cuba free kick that was fizzed into the box. St Albans are going to need all of their concentration here to keep this one out from Guest. Across the face, there was a Oakleigh player went down in the box. It was Hampson before the ball had come in. So it was Kruzborg that committed that foul. Looks like he got away without any further sanction, the youngster. Just a little bit of a talking to from Bailey Panuto. So common sense, do you think there?
Yeah, probably could have stretched towards the card. The danger hasn't been averted yet. Ford. Labib does well, gets it out of his feet. They're happy to go back through Sinclair. Caesar parted for him, finds out wide and goes back post. Ford can scoop it up though. beat. And that one's going to be a goal kick. Forward's foot.
Just trying to see if Jacob Tratt's got any ice on the hamstring or the groin or anything over there. We'll have to get. We've got Raman behind the camera. Maybe we can get him to zoom into that Oakleigh bench at some point and see if we can get a picture with enough resolution to be able to pick that out from this far side of the ground. Look at this steal from McGill. He hasn't really got anyone ahead of him, so he decides to stop and turn in the centre of the park. That was good composure by the Oakleigh midfielder. And Miller's looking for the opportunity here. That wasn't far away from making it 3-1. It goes behind for a corner. Impact from Matt Miller off the bench is something to keep an eye on here.
Ricochet could have gone anywhere, and luckily it didn't nestle in that top corner.
It's well played by McGill to create that opportunity. Just the composure that created the moment. Hume City racing away with the lead over at Kingston Heath. 5-1 they lead now. Cross doesn't beat the first man. Golevsky tries to come away with the football. Ford's got time and space to play it back to Manos. So we are inside the last 10 minutes here. Still time for St Albans to salvage something out of this game that they took the lead in earlier in the first half. Lucky we're on 18 minutes.
Say since then it's been one-way traffic, but it's been pretty damn close to that. And Oakleigh are now the more happy to have the two defensive blocks and sit back a little bit more. That one's tipped over Sinclair's head. And try and it's lovely touch, Labib straight. Lovely touch from Radovic.
Would have been the easiest offside to call this season if that one had have made its way to the bib, but the pass from Djurdovic had too much on it in any case. Monek is motoring forward ahead of the ball. Levan in possession. Ajak Dayu played it inside, looking for Sharan. Levan, he's been so busy in this match, controlling the midfield, controlling the tempo of this game. Ajak Dayu just blazed away again. So St Albans, they've cleared the bench, bringing on all of their options available to them. The experienced figure of Joey Monek and plenty of youngsters as well.
Speaking of Monek, they haven't been able to get him involved as much as they like, and that's well turned. And that one's clipped the ankles. Still happy to play, and they get a free kick for getting in his play.
I like the audacity of Cruzborg there. He took on the Oakleigh defence. Turned them inside out initially. Plenty of navy blue shirts there to recover, but they're looking a bit tired. Joseph Ford is worked really, really hard back and forward from right back, and he's sucking in the big ones now. Just having some problems with his shorts, riding up a little bit high. Might need to get a looser pair. The quads have got a bit too strong, perhaps. So 7 minutes plus added time here remain. Manos is going to take some more time off the clock here.
Looking for Labib. Defensive gets there first. Flick on. Radovic puts him under pressure. Forces it out for a throw-in.
Hearing that Josh Bingham has scored a hat-trick for Hume amongst those 5 goals down at Kingston Heath against the Bentley Greens.
Ford reaches him, does well. Happy to go all the way back, Oakleigh. Reset themselves. Manos looks down the wing. Guest goes up for it. Not often that he wins a header. In a defensive time. That's well defended. Making up the play well.
What do you do as a referee, Josh, when you've got Golevsky and McGill there, both with a good hand of shirt respectively of each other. Just let it go.
When they're both holding each other, you make it well known as Labib striding forward, makes it into the box, cuts it back, guessed, and tried to tuck it into the bottom corner. The far bottom corner was beckoning, and probably a little too cute with it, and probably just needed to put his foot through it a little bit more.
Sat nicely for the left-footed instep shot, but didn't really generate the ferocity to beat Bullich, who was well positioned and well balanced to get across and block the shot. So St Albans back in possession. They need to start trying to ask one or two questions of this Oakleigh defence before time's up. Here is Monek. Dayu drives the pass inside for Cook, who is playing through the middle of the attack now. Miller goes to ground. A huge roar from the St Albans technical area for the ferocity of the challenge, but it's Oakleigh back in possession, but only briefly. Anderson. Can he find someone out wide? He can. Out there it is, young Cruz Borg. He's won the decision, has he? He has.
Cook was slow to get up. He's back into play now, but he was slow to get up after that one. He's been slow the last 2 or 3 tackles he's had laid on him. And hopefully that's nothing too serious. He seems to be happy to run around and continue. He's involved in there. Loses out to it.
Good hardy clearance there from McGill. Will Chris Taylor make any more changes and try and run the clock down? Oh, McGill was horribly late on that challenge. And that has to be a yellow ticket from Bailey Panuto as a result. There's not much way that you can argue against that.
No, definitely not. And he walks away. He knew that straight away. Didn't even bother turning. Ambitious. And if your goalkeeper into your attacking half, it's deep. First head. What a finish! Strikes it home. Left everyone speechless.
And it's the centre-back, Aaron Anderson. We're all square at Jack Edwards. Unbelievable finish. Well, if your strikers and your attackers up the field can't get it done, it's time for the central defender to step up and say enough is enough. Have a look at this finish, boys. A stunner from Aaron Anderson.
Borderline flying scissor kick. Left Manos stranded and rifled home. And that one puts us all square, and what a way to put us all square.
That's one of the best volleyed finishes I've seen for a very long time, Josh. And it was so timely because that is going to have real consequences here. Oakleigh can suddenly see those 3 points turning back into 1 unless they can do something quickly here. And Anderson, we noticed a short time ago, he was booked for some back chat. He actually copped his 5th yellow of the season, so he's going to miss next week's match, the next match in the league competition. But he's going to miss the next game. At least go out with a bang. That's what he's done there.
And Oakleigh were in borderline cruise mode, and they've punished them for it in the most spectacular way. The bib. Fine strong, whips it in, doesn't beat his man though. Well defended. He's been everywhere today. Freshly shorn head.
It's a good look, you think?
Man after my own heart, so I will back it every day.
St Albans with the pep in their step all of a sudden as Weir takes the throw. Ford climbing over the top of Sharan. It's adjudged to have come off Sharan last.
Possession tossed away. That will infuriate them even more. Shane can come up the line. looks to beat one. Doesn't quite get past the second. Still retains possession. Has it, beckons for him, and the ricochet took all the venom out of it. Manos scoops it up and looks for Duradovic. Doesn't find him. On the second attempt, they do. And Labib looking to take his man on. Does. And not happy with that call. There's a little clip of the ankles afterwards.
5 added minutes here, so this is time to make it count for Oakleigh. They had a number of chances to go 2 ahead when they were sitting on that 2-1 lead. It seemed like maybe it wouldn't matter. Aaron Anderson having other ideas with a spectacular volley on 87 minutes to square things up here at 2-2.
This probably a smidge too far for shooting range for Guest.
Bullich has got 3 in the wall just in case. Everyone back for St Albans to defend except for Nicholas Cook, who stayed up near the halfway line. So it's Guest to deliver this one to the back post area. It's going to be scrambled away by Borg. Hangs in the air. Cook needs to try and lock this one in up on the halfway line, and well played, Nicholas Cook. Opportunity here to get forward. And still he goes here. Does Joey Monek. Well played, yeah. Golevsky. Dayu. Well played by Ajak Dayu. He sent Matt Miller for a hot dog and got cleaned up in the process. Matt Miller might get a little brief talking to from Bailey Panuto. Not a lot of intent, maybe just a bit of clumsiness there, a bit of rustiness for the player who's trying to get those match minutes back. Looks like Monek's going to swing this one in on the left foot.
Living dangerous.
Marco Bullich is up near the halfway line, screaming instructions like an on-field coach. It's in by Monek, away by Miller. Back in by Sharan. Labib's going to try and come away with it. Strong, and now Labib. Big challenge from Lockie Weir. Not leaving anything to chance, and he might have hurt his left ankle here, Lockie Weir. So we're going to have added time on added time. St Albans don't have anyone left to bring on, if I'm right, either, if Weir needs to go off.
Yeah, they've used all their subs, so he says he's okay. He's trying to run it off, hobble it off.
Bring Christian Rossi on, maybe, and left back.
Driving run forward. Finds Guest out wide. Tries to tuck it home. And it's cleared away. Oakleigh borderline playing with a front 4.
I thought you were going to say a front 5 or a front 6. They don't want to concede and drop the 2 points here. They want to try and ram home the advantage over their rivals near the top end of the tree. Hume will be within a point if the results stay as they are. Look at Miller flying in there. Oh, in fact, it was McGill throwing himself at it. Miller was coming the other way. McGill almost getting whiplash as he threw himself through the air. It was a good ball into the box, and Anderson is the latest St Albans player to go down. Lockie Weir still hobbling around after hurting that left ankle less than a minute ago, and the trainer for St Albans is being called out here. John Ianulio, he's got the magic tricks in the suitcase here. You hope for Aaron Anderson to get a speedy recovery so they can play out the remaining minutes with 10, or 11, should I say, without having to play with 10.
Vital point gained potentially for them.
And looking looking ahead to next week. There's a postponed games around, so we'll get the weekend off in the top flight. St Albans will be in action. They got a big one, a home match on Sunday the 21st of June coming up against Altona Magic. So a bit of a 6-pointer there, and they can really make sure that they keep clear of those sides in the relegation zone if they can get the 3 points at home against Altona Magic. And they'll play Melbourne City. That's also at home. That's a Friday night fixture the following week over at Churchill Reserve. So another chance there potentially against a Melbourne City side who would be having to rest some of their academy starlets.
Scholarship players.
Yeah,
they've got to have their break, and a couple of them, well, this game for them this weekend has been postponed because of international duty. So for more than 5 players, 5 or more, so they were able to postpone it.
So, right, so Melbourne City players are at the centre of a drubbing of I think it was the Philippines. Mehmeti had, I think he scored 5 goals in that game out of 10. For Oakleigh, they'll be playing Melbourne City when they return after the break on Friday the 19th of June. They'll be back here again. And they'll be away against Heidelberg the following Friday. So a big one coming up there the following week in round 18. Oh, we're getting through the season, aren't we? So 5 minutes was the nominated added time here. Aaron Anderson is off. So St Albans, for the moment, are down to 10. And possibly down to 10 for the remainder of this one. Boych is going to drive this one forward. Cook looks to make the flick on. And good pick up there, Josh, as Anderson has raced back onto the field. He's got the thumbs up from Bailey Panuto to resume. So it's back to 11 on 11. And there is that man, Anderson, flying in. He's had an all-action second half. He's picked up a 5th yellow card of the season for a bit of back chat, we think it was. But he's scored probably the best goal by a St Albans player possibly we've seen this season as well. Might be a couple of St Albans players that might have claims on that one.
Getting pressed. That's a poor clearance, and lucky St Albans couldn't get it under control.
If that had a sat for a St Albans player then.
They can turn it into something now. Guest. Oh, slips at the vital moment. There you can come forward. Gets dragged down. And St Albans won't mind that too much. Even though they do play quickly. Trying to catch them off guard. Speculative ball forward. And it's hidden hope. And Labib managed to get his head to it. And cleared away. It's long ball after long ball. And that's all she wrote today. Couldn't be separated at the end here. 2 apiece.
Yeah, well, the sting in the tail there was Aaron Anderson's goal on 87 minutes to level things up at the back post. A spectacular volley. He got himself parallel to the ground, did the central defender. Fired a shot that fizzed past Manos and into the back of the net to level things up at 2-2. That was after Oakleigh had plenty of chances to try and get a 2-goal cushion when they led 2-1, courtesy of first half goal from Labib, second half goal from Guest was teed up nicely by Adam Juratovic. They led 2-1 for a little while, but they couldn't hang on and get the 3 points. Lockie Weir had got us going on 15 minutes with a goal from a free kick that evaded everyone in the box, including Tom Manis. On 18 minutes, free kick that had plenty of purchase on it, and Manos was left a little bit red-faced. So, game with plenty of highlights. It was high intensity, it was a bit scrappy, but both of these sides will now go into the break and next weekend off, and they'll have plenty to work on the training track for the remaining games of the season. You fancy, Josh?
Yeah, certainly. And Oakleigh, unfortunately, will probably see it as 2 points dropped and 2 points in that title race dropped. But St Albans will be happy with scraping the one point back and help push them away and keep them away as best as possible from that relegation fight. The week off next week will help potentially both teams with some injury concerns. Track coming off with an injury and a few limping wounded for St Albans at the end.
Probably comes at a really good time, that week off, in fact. But, well, either way, it looks like Aaron Anderson will miss out through suspension next week after picking up a 5th yellow card. But they will get Joey Cholina back. Just having a quick look around the grounds. Of course, those earlier results, Avondale 2, Neil over Green Gully. Dandenong City sending some shockwaves around the comp. 4-1 winners against Heidelberg United. And going into the latter part of the game down at Kingston Heath, it's Hume City 5, Bentley Greens 1. Josh Bingham hat-trick there in the absence of Godfrey de Belle, making up for the loss of number 9 with another one on fire there. But what a good contest it's been here tonight for us to enjoy for the neutrals. We'll have a look at some of the games coming up the rest of the weekend. We've got Dandenong Thunder and Caroline Springs George Cross. That's coming up at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Catch that one. And South Melbourne versus the Altona Magic, 3:30 at Lakeside Stadium on Sunday. I've been Steve Curtin, working with Josh Byrne. It's been a pleasure for the first time operating alongside you, mate. Looking forward to doing that again soon.
Pleasure's all mine. And as you said, make sure you get across the YouTube channel if you can't be in person. Best place to catch the centre of the footballing world.
That's right. Well, from Jack Edwards Reserve in the Senol NPL Victoria, we'll sign off here. Full time, the league leaders, Oakleigh, held by St Albans, 2-2. Good evening.